Okay, number 22. Everyone sitting in the waiting room of the school's athletic office this morning at 9 o'clock had just registered for a beginner's tennis clinic. So if this is the room, everyone in it has registered for a beginner's tennis class. John, Mary, and Teresa were all sitting in the waiting room this morning at 9 o'clock. So John, Mary, and Teresa are all in the room, meaning that they are all registered for a beginner's tennis clinic. No accomplished tennis player would register for a beginner's tennis clinic, so you can't have an accomplished tennis player in this room. If the statements above are true, which one of the following must also be true on the basis of them? None of the people sitting in the school's athletic office this morning at 9 o'clock had ever played tennis. Well, we don't know anything about anyone that has never played tennis, right? If none of them had ever played tennis, that's not information that we know about, right? That phrasing never showed up in our stimulus, so we can cross out A pretty confidently. B, everyone sitting in the school's athletic office this morning at 9 o'clock registered only for a beginner's tennis clinic. Do we know whether there was anyone else other than John, Mary, and Teresa in the waiting room? Not really. We know that John, Mary, and Teresa were there, but we don't know if anyone else was there. So we can't say everyone sitting in the school's office registered only for a beginner's tennis clinic, right? We don't know that information. So we can also cross out B. B is too strong. John, Mary, and Teresa were the only people who registered for a beginner's tennis clinic this morning. Again, do we know that they were the only people who registered? No, not quite, right? We know that they were in the waiting room. We don't know if anyone else is in the waiting room. We don't know if there's people outside of the waiting room who maybe could have registered for the tennis clinic. So C is also not a good option. It's also a little bit too strong and specific. D, John, Mary, and Teresa were the only people sitting in the waiting room of the school's athletic office this morning at 9 o'clock. Again, we don't know if that's true, right? We only know that they were sitting in the waiting room. We don't know if anyone else was. So that's also not it. It's a little bit too specific and strong. E, neither John nor Teresa is an accomplished tennis player. Well, we know that no one in this room is an accomplished tennis player, and we know that John, Mary, and Teresa are in this room. So we can confidently pick E because all three of them can't be accomplished tennis players. And we know that they are beginners, or that they registered